If you're getting to the second and third rounds of interviews and you're still not getting the job, here are a couple things that I want you to consider. If you don't already know me, my name is Leora. I'm a queer neurodivergent career coach. I've spent the last several years in HR and recruiting, and prior to that, I've worked as a food and beverage manager, and I've led creative design teams as well. So in my experience, when this happens and there's an interviewee getting through the interview process pretty well, second and third interview, that's a good sign, and they're not moving forward from there, it's usually one main thing, and that is that the interviewer or the hiring leaders haven't gotten a sense that you can really fit the requirements of the job and do the job, or at least you haven't expressed that as well as other candidates have. So how can we fix this? This tip comes straight out of my Job Seekers Toolkit, which is a 30-page guide that takes you through the entire job search process. And this particular tip comes from page 20. Ahead of your interview, and this is whether it's your first or your fifth, you're gonna ask the person you're scheduling with if they can send you the questions or the topics of the interview ahead of time, and you're gonna ask them, this is so I can most effectively prepare for the interview. Once you have those topics, you're going to then come up with stories. So that is really what a hiring manager or an interviewer is looking for. They wanna hear when you've done something, how you did it, how you were involved. And so practice talking about your experience in stories, trying to give details, and practice telling the story in a manner of like 2 to 3, 5 minutes max. In my experience, when we have interviewed candidates in the third round, third round, and they haven't moved forward, this is why. It's because we weren't able to really get that story out of them of when they did something, or like an example specifically of when they've accomplished something. And again, this is assuming that there are other people in this interview round with you. You're kind of, unfortunately, like competing against other people. So in most cases, they've been able to tell that story in a more effective way where the hiring leaders can kind of picture the person in the role already. If you want more tips like this, I highly recommend going to the link in my bio. You can get your own copy of the Job Seeker Toolkit for $44. It takes you through every part of the job searching process step by step, and I share all of my best tips and advice as someone who has been a recruiter, as someone who's been a hiring manager, an interviewer, and I think it'll really help you out a lot, especially if you're in this situation where you can't quite get past that last stage. Good luck.